Hypercharge is finally here in Brawl Stars, and I'll be showing you guys what Hypercharge is and how it works for every brawler in Brawl Stars. So currently, Supercell decided to roll out 6 Hypercharges, and that is for Shelly, Colt, Bull, Jackie, Pearl, and the legend himself, Spike. But since Pearl isn't released yet, we only have access to 5 Hypercharges. Now, Hypercharge is pretty simple. All you have to do is charge it up in game as if it was a super, and then that's it. You activate it. So here is Shelly's Hypercharge, double barrel. And honestly, this is just crazy, man. When you use this Hypercharge, Shelly's super is 33% larger. How is that possible? And on top of that, her speed and damage increases by 25%, and her shield increases by 15%. It's too broken, dude. So it looks like Hypercharges charge pretty quick. I mean, Shelly literally charged it in a few seconds. But let's see how it performs. You can see that Shelly is just a different brawler with Hypercharge. I noticed that the Hypercharge lasts for a couple of seconds, but you can easily charge it back within a few seconds, which makes it completely broken. Now, Hypercharge for Shelly is pretty powerful. Her speed allows her to come closer to enemies, and that just makes her do a ton of damage, dude. I mean, her damage is buffed by 25%. And on top of that, her super is magnified by 33%. Like, how is that fair, dude? I honestly don't think that Shelly's Hypercharge would do much in solo showdown. I mean, solo showdown maps are massive and everyone's just spread out. So I think Hypercharges would be best in 3v3 game modes, especially Brawl Ball, dude. I mean, these maps aren't even that big, so you could easily whack everyone out of existence. But yeah, the next Hypercharge we're going to be looking at is Colt's Hypercharge, dual wielding. Now, this Hypercharge makes Colt's super 120% wider. What is this? On top of that, Colt's speed and damage is buffed by 30%, and he has a 10% increase on his shield. Now, keep in mind that these Hypercharges only last a few seconds, but either way, they're too broken, dude. Okay, anyways, let's see how Colt's Hypercharge works in game. You can see that it doesn't take that long to charge the Hypercharge, which may be a really big problem, but look at how this guy super performs with the Hypercharge. He just melted the siege bot, bro. And yeah, Colt's Hypercharge would probably work best in 3v3 modes. I mean, he can just break walls in Brawl Ball and just whack everyone out of existence. Thanks to his super being wider, it's much easier to hit enemies and break walls on pretty much any map. I don't think Colt's Hypercharge would do that bad in solo showdown. That's because his super can just break every wall and target every enemy at the same time. Okay, the next Hypercharge we're looking at is Bull's Hypercharge, Jaws of Steel. Now, this Hypercharge is a bit different compared to the first two, and this is because Bull's super doesn't do any extra damage, but instead it reduces the damage he takes by 80%, dude. 80%. This literally makes this guy a tin can, dude. He's indestructible. On top of that, his speed is buffed by 25%. His damage is also buffed by 10%. And on top of that, he has a 30% buff on his shield. This guy is actually indestructible. Now, this Hypercharge charges up really quick depending on how close Bull hits his shots. The closer the shots are, the more damage he's gonna do. And that leads to a faster charge on the Hypercharge. Now, when this Hypercharge is activated, Bull's super is completely broken. This guy can charge it to enemies while barely taking any damage. And then with the 10% damage buff he has, he can literally end everyone's career, dude. Why are these Hypercharges so broken, dude? All right, now we got Jackie's Hypercharge, Seismic Event. So this Hypercharge pretty much slows enemies down for 1.5 seconds when using Jackie's super. And of course, on top of that, she has a 25% speed buff and damage buff, and also a 15% shield buff. Now, I honestly don't think Jackie's super is that broken with the Hypercharge. I mean, enemies are only slowed down for 1.5 seconds. But yeah, since Jackie has a huge damage radius, she can charge her Hypercharge in a matter of seconds. I mean, just look at that, dude. Her Hypercharge allows her to do 25% more damage and gives her a 25% increase in speed, which just breaks this brawler completely. But overall, this Hypercharge is obviously broken. I mean, look at it, dude. Okay, the final Hypercharge is for the legend himself, Spike Gaming. Now, this Hypercharge is called Blooming Season, and this is obviously broken like every other Hypercharge. So with this Hypercharge, Spike has a 20% larger area with his super. His super pretty much covers the whole map. Like, what is this? But yeah, his Hypercharge also gives him a 30% speed boost, which is just crazy. It also gives him a 20% increase in damage and shield, but the 30% speed boost is too much, man. Okay, anyways, let's see how his Hypercharge performs. We can see that Spike's Hypercharge charges fairly quick, but look at that super radius, dude. How is that gonna be fair? Now, we can see that the Hypercharge really buffs up Spike's damage. I mean, he just melted those siege bots, dude. Spike is honestly gonna go crazy in this 3v3 mode. Because of his super radius being 20% larger, it can actually be really useful in game modes like Hot Zone. This would pretty much allow Spike to slow enemies down faster, and that would prevent enemies from coming closer to the Hot Zone. These Hypercharges, man, they're too broken.